recently just acquired this here round baillieur, and because I wanted to make sure I don't end up broken down on the side of the road with this thing, I borrowed this tire off the square baler over there because I think the rims are the same. So if I blew one of the old tires on the round baler, I could just pop this one on. And that's okay, because even though we thankfully didn't need this, I need to replace this tire because, you know, funny thing about probably 15, 20-year-old agricultural type tires that are rated for like 30 miles an hour, when you pull the things for 9 hours behind a truck, including a good chunk of that on the freeway, they don't hold up very well. I don't know how much this you can really see on the old GoPro here, but you can see there's all these cracks running through the sidewall, missing a big chunk of rubber there. So I gotta wrestle with this thing today. Oh yeah, and the tread's like all worn off just there for some reason. The rest of the tread looks pretty all right to me. So we're gonna try to wrestle on a new tire. I got the old nausea cam here just to make people as seasick and miserable as possible in the comments. Oh, did you get that rabbit? No. Lucky tries so hard, he's never actually caught one though. I feel bad for him. Gotta find my valve stem, a tool. There it is. All right, let's do this. All right, so this is my really kind of ultra crappy but still functional tire changing setup. Oh. Obligatory Chinese tire changer, link in the description, unless I forget, which I do like half the time. It's on a piece of scrap metal with this random portion jutting out for the highest possible chance of causing mechanical injuries to anybody nearby. And unfortunately, it's mounted to a pallet. And I did not realize that pallets are made out of wood, and wood always breaks, therefore the pallet broke. And so it's all kind of jankety and everything, but you know, live and learn. You guys will make fun of me for this, but believe it or not, there's a time in my life I didn't know valve stems like unscrewed like this. So if I was messing with a wheel, I would sit there for like an hour with a screwdriver, just hold down that little thingamajigger. Live and learn, right? That's what happens when you got to figure stuff out yourself. Not always perfect. Especially if I release this thing and shoot out night with it. That'd be fun. All right. There's actually not much air in that. Now I will say this tire changer, it's not that bad for a lot of things. One part that pretty much always sucks, however, is breaking the bead on a wheel like this. And this is such a tall wheel, it's gonna be extra miserable. Yes, I make videos like this, yet I still somehow have regular viewers. Who knew? Mechanical injury in 3, 2, hey. Wow, we did it. We did it. Okay. Oh, hey, and this is 6-ply tire, and that's an 8, so it's at least a little thicker. Oh, what a hard tire. This is gonna suck. Precision metal straightening techniques you only get on Chucky's welding channel. Ah, this thing's such a piece of crap. Every time I use it, I talk about how I'm going to add some struts on this so it can't bend, yet I never do. That's the way you accomplish things, though. Just say you're gonna. Oh. Alright, this side's fighting me more than the other side for some reason. Oh, this thing's gonna fly apart and knock out some teeth. Better use it anyway. Oh. Yeah, I know it's a bad idea, buddy. Let's see what we can do about this. Cut it right about there. Yeah, that should be a lot better. We just got to keep it from bowing in the center. Oh, good boy. All right, you go bother the goats. Nope, you can't come in here. Go bother the goats. Good boy. Dudes, I know it should go without saying, but make sure if you're gonna be like sawing stuff and it's loud, you know, anytime there's metal flying through the air, you're cutting, grinding, welding, whatever, make sure there's no dogs in your building or livestock around. Again, it pretty much should be self-explanatory, but pretty much every time I look up welding videos on YouTube or like people doing projects or whatever, I see dogs getting blinded and like livestock being deafened and whatnot. So Again, one of those days. Again, really should go without saying, but most of you guys know this, but I find that genuinely disturbing. The kind of thing you shouldn't really have to talk about, but you do! Alright, we'll just start off with this electrode which got melted into the side of my slag hammer, and we'll be in business. I'm sure these are good fumes to be breathing. Alright, we'll finish straightening this out the rest of the way once it's on the thing. Oh, it's bending at the top and bottom. I don't understand how one side is like 10 times as difficult as the other. Hey everybody, so he's telling me to shoot some soap and water in here. I can't believe I haven't thought of that until now. Oh, this tire is so hard. I mean, it's rubber that spent, what, 16 years in Texas heat and sun. Oh. I don't know if I can bend it over this rim without bending the rim. Oh, this thing will not collapse. Sometimes I think I should just get a proper tire machine, but I won't buy anything I don't absolutely need. Because how else would I afford my 90 million tractors? You know, one of the best comments I think I ever got was someone that said, you make the most money on some welding jobs by sending them down the road. And I feel like I'm gonna be best off sending this tire deal. Well, you get the point. So y'all know I'm not usually one to call it quits, but I figured that since the sidewall on this thing was probably close to a ½ inch thick, or rather that one over there, and I was thinking about it driving to the tire shop, I think between this and the mud tires, I've figured out, for myself at least, in my level of, you know, tire skill or lack thereof, if the sidewalls on this thing are thicker than a ½ inch, just take it and have it done. So I took this to the local tire shop I've been going to for years, and honestly it was the only time I have seen them struggle with a tire in like the 3 years I've been going to this place. It took all the strength the guy had. You know, he had tire iron slipping out from under the bead because the old sidewalls were so stiff, and to put this one on he had to get this like roller apparatus which goes over the regular tire machine. I've never seen anything like it, but whatever the case, these bearings sound like they could use a little bit of grease, so I figured while we're doing this we might as well. There's no way this is the proper way to be doing this. I do like these reusable little hubcap things. Yeah, that's some completely decomposed grease, all right. I also pulled the pin out and discovered this nut is on here like finger tight. So it's probably good we're doing this. I guess I'll have to make it a point to go to the other side too. You always forget just the most obscure stuff. Like whoever could have guessed I'd need grease to grease wheel bearings. I feel like that's pretty good. Then again, I don't actually really know what I'm doing here, so. Well, I think that's fine. I couldn't really get this back bearing out without having a replacement dust seal, which I don't. However, all the grease was like in the back of this thing, so it's almost like that's the only one that was greased at some point. So what I did is I got back around there, I added as much grease to it as I could pack in from the back side, slathered the front bearing, put it on. Now when we turn this, it doesn't make that noise anymore. And when we go in and out, no more play. Just put this on just tight enough so there isn't any. So I think we'll be pretty all right. The tractor that I pull this with tops out speed-wise just under 30, and although some of the fields that I'm going to be working are a little ways from home, it's in far better condition than it was when the previous owner pulled this thing like 3 hours on the highway to bring it out here. So if it survived that, now with my hackery, it should solve this. I say that. I really wish I could improve some of my mechanical abilities, but honestly, those bearings are both in a lot better shape than they were before, so I'm not too concerned. Check it out, guys. We got this thing on here. I think it looks really good. It looks certainly different than the old tire, but I think it looks pretty cool, actually. Now, I did decide to keep the old tire. It's not in that great a shape, but it does have, you know, a few days worth of life left in it or something, so if I'm, you know, driving out to a field and I run something over on the road or whatever, you know, I can call upon this old thing, hopefully, and you know, for a few days while a replacement tire comes in or whatever, because it's kind of an oddball sized tire. As you can see, it's really wide and on a 15-inch rim. But whatever the case, we got this thing on here, improved the bearings on that. No one spot of luck, so I came over here and I inspected the bearings and this wheel, and they were fine. I mean, they looked great, actually. They looked like they just got repacked yesterday. And this wheel, I don't know, it probably doesn't look that great on camera, but I can tell this is significantly newer than the wheel which we replaced. So I can assume that somebody at some point came in and put this on and repacked the bearings when they did so. And I'm like, most of the work has been done to the baler. It looks like they actually did a pretty good job on it. So that was my adventure for the part of the day here. I'm a little bummed that I wasn't able to change the tire myself. You know, I like, when possible, pushing myself a little bit outside of my comfort zone, especially to learn something new or beneficial, ideally only for those reasons. But you know, after watching the tire guy who does nothing but change tires all day every day fight with that wheel so hard with the proper equipment, I really don't feel like there's a whole lot else that I really could have done that I didn't do. So like I said, super stiff old rubber, like 1/2-inch thick sidewall. It was just a challenge, and that's all there is to it, to me. But I don't really know what the heck I'm talking about. Well, whatever the case, today's random vlog. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more. Potentially one day, this thing will actually work at least a little bit.